Hey everybody, this is Curtis from PSNStores.com. Today we're going to take a look at Chime Sharp. It is out this week on PS4. We're just going to hop in. I've played enough to kind of unlock the songs that are available in the game. Not a super long song list, but this game is pretty tough. I played like the first Chime way back. It's been years now on Steam. This one has kind of the original mode that I remember. And then there's also like let's see, it's Sharp, Strike, and then Challenge. I don't know too much about Strike and Challenge just yet. I've not been able to unlock those modes in any of the songs. I've played a few hours of this game so far. It is pretty tough, or at least I have not yet gotten to a point where I am good at it. I kind of like understand what I need to do, but the actual act of getting the completion percentage needed to unlock at least Strike and Challenge is pretty tough because Sharp mode is also pretty hard. But we'll take a look at a couple, at least Standard and Sharp, in this video, so you can kind of see what this game is all about, and hopefully we'll do okay. We'll see. Because thus far, I mean, I've been able to get upwards of 60 to 70% completion in some songs, but getting 100% completion in a song seems like a pretty difficult task, so we'll see. So basically what this is, you're going to have objects, shapes, similar to Tetraminos, but, sometimes a little bit different. And what you want to do is you want to combine them and create these quads. And once you do that, you want to basically just continue building off of that as fast as you can, in hopes of creating and just expanding this quad that we have. Try to get as much coverage as you can get. Oh, that's not good. There we go. Crap. Ah, come on. Not really getting great shapes here. We'll go with that. Basically, so you have a time limit that's running along the top. You can get extended time for perfect quads and good good coverage and stuff like that. But again, you want to be moving pretty quick, which makes recording this video while doing this all the more difficult, but that's okay. We'll see how good or bad I can do, I guess. Yeah, it does show you along the top what your next shape is going to be, so eventually you want to get good enough where you can kind of pay attention to what that's telling you as well. Let's see. Yeah. Alright. I'll take it. So again, as you do create these quads and eventually you get your coverage from each one, basically the grid is getting filled in. And so what you eventually want to do, you want to keep working out, because you want to get as much coverage as you possibly can before your time runs out. And so sometimes, because you're going so quick, you just go, and you just, even if you're not getting great patterns or the shapes that you would normally want, you just kind of have to live with it, because you're like, whatever, we're going. We're giving as much coverage as we possibly can, hoping for the best. Oh, crap. There we go. That's... And, you got to be careful, too, because you don't want to get yourself in a position where the spot you need to fill in, you're just not going to get a shape that'll fit, or it's like it's too small of a section, because that does happen. And then each stage also has different shapes, different patterns that you're going to work with. So this one right now, we've kind of seen the different kinds of shapes it's going to give me, but there are other stages that have completely different kinds. So it is a matter, definitely, of kind of replaying each stage over and over again to try to learn the patterns that you're going to have to work with. Because maybe a strategy you would use for one song Might not work very well for another. So you've just gotta, you know, kind of work with it. Take what it gives you and hope for the best. Oh, crap. That's alright. And yeah, you know, again, sometimes maybe this is why I'm not doing as well, because sometimes I do, even if I'm not getting great shapes, I still just kind of do my best to fill in what I can, you know, with what the game gives me. But it's a hard game. You know, at least, you know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there is a mechanic that I've just completely overlooked, but it is, you know, actually getting 100% completion, you know, and getting high percentages, it's gonna be hard. You just gotta kind of work with it and hope for the best. Although right now I'm doing alright. This is actually better than I did than my previous best. So that's good. Oh, come on, game. Okay. Nope. That's alright. I feel pretty good about that. I do think it is the kind of thing where you play a song, you know, 1 or 2 times, and you do not so great, but then the more you play, the more you kind of familiarize yourself with the song and the patterns that it's going to give you. And then you can reach stuff like this where you're getting 89% completion, which I feel pretty good about. So let's go ahead and do a different stage. Let's do, I'll try this one. I think I've only played this one once, though, so 30%. It's pretty low. Hopefully we'll be able to do better. And then after this, we'll do sharp on a level. So you can kind of see some of the roll changes that mode has. Let's see. Oh crap, it's, yep, was not expecting that. Oh. Yeah, this is not gonna go well. Okay, let's see. These like U shapes, always get me. Especially because oftentimes, at least so far, I haven't gotten to a point where I'm consciously like kind of looking up to see what my shapes are upcoming. And I think that's also like definitely going to be a key of like, you know, getting higher percentages. Just knowing what's coming next and being able to kind of set yourself up so that the shapes that you do get are things that you can actually work with, like with the current quad that you've got going. But for me, I am not that good. Not yet, at least. Nope. It's alright. Again, I'm just looking for things that's gonna get me more coverage. Anything I can do. Unfortunately, I don't think this stage has like just a single long piece. That is something that can definitely help out a lot. Try to get over here. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Crap. Nope. Alright, so this wasn't great. Or it was okay. It was better than my other attempt, but... And that's the thing, too, is that you've got to be... The trouble you run into, for sure, is... there are things called, like, perfect quads, and perfect quads is when basically every part or every section of a shape that you're using to create a quad is encompassed in that quad, right? And quads are, if I didn't already explain, it's just 3x3 at the very least shapes. And so when those are not used, those eventually are left behind once the quad is like finalized and everything, right? And so when those shapes are left behind, you know, a lot of the board starts getting filled up, and you start having to work around that as well. And so that's another kind of like another level of, you know, thinking fast because of your time limit and because how quickly things can go. You've got to be aware that, like, okay, some of these things are going to be kind of left behind on the board, and I'm going to have to work with them in some way in hopes of maybe being able to kind of work with everything I've left on the board while also, you know, putting in new pieces I'm getting and hoping that they'll work together in some way. So we'll go, let's see. We can probably go ahead and do one that I've already actually unlocked Sharp with. We'll do a new song too. So cover the grid by forming quads. You know, that's okay. Same as standard. The difference here is that there are no time limits in Sharp mode. You actually are working with lives. So you begin with 10 lives. Lives are replenished by perfect quads. and then lives are lost when those fragments I was talking about that are left behind, when they drop out after time, that will cause you to lose a life. And then quads are immediately set but can be expanded. So you see the line that's kind of moving across the board. That will set down the quad immediately. Whereas in standard, sometimes you'll have a little bit more time with the quad. You can still expand them in Sharp, but it's going to be a little faster for them to be actually set down and finalized. So it's a bit different. It's a pretty good like change of pace for like something that is pretty similar in what you would normally get in standard mode, but it does offer a pretty good kind of unique take on it, which I do like. And so that's going to get finalized there. Crap. Oh no. Game. Alright, well, we'll deal with it. And so again, for me, at least thus far, it's been a lot of like, when I see things fragments starting to drop, I do my best to kind of address them if I can, to at least try to prevent it from happening. Not always successful in doing so, but it is the difference between losing lives and not, so. Yeah. Crap. And of course, I think really like I'm not doing a great job with it right now, but I think the thing with Sharp is because you don't necessarily have a time limit. It's more about your life limit for this one. You can actually work a little better, or not better. You can work slower, and you can be a bit more methodical about your placements. So if we go back to this track here, since I've also unlocked Sharp in this one, an easier track overall. But you can see like, okay, even when things are locked in, I can think about the fragments that are left behind, and I can be a little bit more focused on those and think about them. Whereas like, I don't think I was doing a great job of showing it last time, but we'll see if we can do it here. So maybe start on the edge. I know oftentimes I try to start in the middle. I'm not sure if any one position is necessarily better than the other. I always kind of felt like maybe the middle would be an easier way to spread out faster, but I'm really not too sure. Oh, that's the wrong shape. Yeah, I'm not getting that. Oh, I don't, yeah, Oh, this is bad, yeah. This is over. Yep. What I do like about this game, it is something that you can kind of see your progression, because at least for me, a lot of these songs I started in the 30s range on standard mode, and as I played more of them, it was something that I definitely saw an improvement almost every single time. And so I'm even like, as I'm playing sharp mode a little more, I am seeing it again. I haven't played, again, I've only played this for a few hours, so I still got quite a bit more to play before I'm ready to do like a full review. I want to be able to like see all the modes and everything like that, which might take a little time for me. But so far I like it. It's not like the longest track list, but considering how difficult it can be, I think that might be okay. And I do generally like the songs. I'm a huge fan of Churches anyway, so it's cool to see them on here. But that's a pretty decent look at Chime Sharp, I think. Again, there are 2 other modes. There are Strike and Challenge, which I don't know too much about yet. Hopefully I'll be able to unlock them soon. The thing with Challenge mode is you have to complete Standard to unlock, which I am assuming means get 100% complete coverage, which is that's going to be hard. So we'll see if I can do that. But at any rate, thank you for watching as always. This game is available now on PS4. I believe $10. I think that's the price. If not, I'll have it in the description below. So thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see you later.